So the title is water. Water can exist in 3 states. It can exist in 3 forms. We have liquid water, we have solid water.
Wait. She wants to be writing what you are saying. Yeah.
We have let me just explain it. We have liquid water, we have solid water, we have gas, then we have gas. So liquid water is the water that we find in rivers, in sea, in lakes, and the water we drink, our cup of water, the water we find in our dispensers. Those are in liquid form. When we talk about solid water, we're talking about water that we keep in the refrigerator, in the freezer, that is now frozen and is now block or ice. Yes. So solid water, and another another example of solid water is ice, like snow. When you pack snow and you put it in a cup, it will eventually turn to water.
Melt to water.
It will melt into liquid. So it will melt into liquid, which is.
I put an ice block inside a cup. Then we had water to eat. Then it turns to cold water.
Yes, just like ice.
Sometimes I just lick it in my mouth. Then it now melts to cold water in my mouth.
Yes. So the third one is the gas. The gas comes out like steam when water is boiled. Like when you boil water, not you. When mommy.
The air, the
vapor. Vapor.
Smoke. The smoke will be coming out.
Yes. So when you boil water, the steam comes out. When you boil water, like okay.
Steam is smoke.
When you boil the water in a pot, when the mommy is boiling water in a pot and the pot is covered, in that pot.
We don't use pot.
Okay, I'm just. I want. Or kettle. Okay, let's say mommy boils water in a kettle and the water is inside that kettle. Then she tries to remove the cover of the kettle. When she removes the cover of the kettle and turns it up, inside the cover you have steam. You have dotted spots of water. You have different tiny dots of water. That is the steam. That's the steam. So water that forms there is the steam. The water that forms on the water that on the cover is the steam. Yes. So another aspect is the melting. You know that point where water melts. That point where water melts from. That point where water melts from being cold to when it is warm, or when it is room temperature. Like you bring water from the freezer and put the water in. You bring water from the freezer and put the water is blocked. You bring it out from the freezer, put the cup in the kitchen. After like 2 hours, you realize that the block would have melted. The block would have melted, and then it will be in liquid form. So it will no longer be solid. You understand? So
solid is
solid means when the water is hard, is in a hard form.
I can use my teeth to break ice block.
Yes, but please don't do that. It can affect your teeth. Don't use your teeth to break ice block.
That affect my teeth.
Boy.
That my teeth will get cold, and that's all.
You shouldn't do that often. That's not too good. It's not quick.
I don't do that anymore.
Good, that's good. So when you have, are you listening? When you have ice and the ice is warm, that means the water has done what? It has changed. It has changed. Then evaporation, when water is heated and it becomes steam. So those are the big words I want you to take note of. Evaporation happens when mommy is boiling water with the kettle and the water is hot. When she removes the cover, the lid of the kettle, what happens is by the time she removes the lid of the kettle, you will see that a little water has settled on the lid of the kettle. That is evaporation.
Cover.
Yes, the cover of the kettle. That little water that settles on the cover is what we call evaporation. So we want to talk about the cycle of water. In the cycle of water, rain falls from the cloud. What? I need to see your face.
It's Emmanuel. Wonder.
So we talk about rain falling from the cloud. When rain falls, I need you to think about the cycle of water. Rain falls from the cloud and forms river and ponds. You know, when rain falls and rain keep falling, at some point, the rain falls in a place continuously, it becomes a body of water. So now in our rivers, when the rain falls, the rivers will increase, right? The rivers will increase. So then when the sun hits the water, when the sun comes out and the sun starts shining, the water turns into vapor and the vapor rises into the cloud, into the sky, and it takes a form in the cloud. And then when it's a particular time, it falls down again as rain. Do you understand the cycle of water now? Rain falls on the earth. When the rain keeps pouring, rain pours on the earth. Where the rain pours on the earth, it becomes a body of water at some point. That body of water.
Rain used to fall in Qatar, but now rain has stopped.
Rainfall is seasonal. Rain doesn't fall all the time. So there are times that it's not the season.
But now that everywhere is cold, we don't need any rain because when the rain was falling, we were very cold and we could not go outside and buy anything.
Yeah. So when rain falls, the cycle of water is such that rain falls. When the rain falls, it keeps falling on the ground to the point that some places where we have water like rivers increases in their size, in their
cold water or hot water.
The water increases. The water level increases, and
Do you know where we get all the water from? We get all the water from the river. The water that we use to bathe our bodies from the river.
So we get some water from the river, fine. Then we get some water from the earth. When the ground is drilled, there are some engineers that know how to drill the ground. When they drill the ground and drill it, drilling means like making a hole. They make a hole to bore a hole in the ground.
They dig a hole. After digging the hole, they'll let rain fall inside.
No, each time rain falls, water goes into the ground. So when you drill the ground, you will get to a point where you will see water. You'll get to a point where there's water. There's water under the ground.
Grandma used to dig a hole, they make a well there, and then they used to fetch water.
So
one of my auntie's son fell inside.
Oh, that's bad. So now we understand. Oh, that's good. So I need us to understand that how many states of water do we have? Liquid,
water,
liquid, solid, and gas. Liquid, solid, and gas. So we'll leave it here for now. We'll explain more on other topics later.